Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou, and thank you for trusting your intuition and joining me right now to choose a stack of cards. Your subconscious has a message for you, and it's looking and waiting for you right here underneath one of these three stacks of cards. And remember, you can always find out more information about tarot by subscribing to my online magazine, Astrologic. It will give you so many articles about tarot, astrology, dream analysis, and more metaphysical subjects that you will be able to tune into everything that you enjoy studying and discover some new metaphysical aspects that you may not even know exist but might be exactly right for you. So choose a stack of cards. Will today's message come beneath Vesta, my warrior priestess, or underneath the stack that has this beautiful fossilized shell? Millions of years ago it was fossilized, meaning growth and eternity. Or will it be underneath this fantastic obelisk, this quartz obelisk, which resonates the most amazing power? Choose. Don't overthink it. Allow your intuition to tell you which one. And let's see what the message from your subconscious is for you right now. So we'll begin with Vesta, my warrior priestess. Scoot her over, and we will take a look at the first card, which is your overview card. This is your energy from a broad standpoint right now. This is what you're resonating with, and it could be something very impactful, or it could be something that's kind of minor. But let's take a look and see what's going on right now. Well, I'm going to call this impactful because it's the Aeon. And the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, for example, they call this judgment. And so what this card is talking about is taking a good look at where you are right now, having a very objective standpoint about something, or maybe everything. It could be everything that you're looking at right now, reevaluating your life. And that's actually what this feels like. And so this is coming from a place where you know that things are needing to perhaps change or shift or move forward in some way. And this is what this Aeon energy is talking about. It's very much focused on you, because this is talking about having that objective viewpoint, but it also speaks of being fair in the way that you're going about making these choices. So I want you to be aware of that as well. This is your overview energy. So let's see what's challenging this energy, but certainly something is. Let's see exactly what that is. So this is your challenge card. Yeah, okay, so Ten of Swords here in the Thoth deck. It's called Ruin. What this is representing is just a place where you're ready to throw up your hands and you don't know what to do. You're really going to the worst case scenario right now, which is out of all of the options that you could possibly choose. You're saying, oh, it's the worst, it's the worst. You know, and we tend to do that for several reasons. You know, maybe to prepare ourselves for absolutely what the worst possibility could be. Sometimes we just have a fatalistic attitude and we just go in that direction. That's what this Ten of Swords is referring to. It also can indicate depression, some real depressive thoughts, and hopefully only thoughts going through your mind right now, because this is a pretty serious card. And as we look at it with the Aeon energy, as we put these two together, it's interesting. You look at the orange and reds that are on top of the Aeon and that reflect this Ruin Ten of Swords card. You know, so we're getting a clearer picture that you are in a place where you're having to make a real objective choice right now in your life, and it is not one, you're looking at it from a really pessimistic standpoint, one that almost makes you feel like you're going crazy. I mean, that's the extreme of what is potentially happening here, but this Ten of Swords is serious energy. So at the very least, you're feeling very undecisive about what to do and how to handle this, and you're maybe even creating some extra criticism for yourself, heaping a little too much fault or blame on yourself. That's why we're going to take a look at the third card, which is your course of action called for, to see what your subconscious energy, what this tarot energy is advising you to do right now. So this is good, and it's expected as well, the Seven of Swords. And this is talking about futility, turning loose of futility. This is saying it's time to turn loose of the fatalistic attitude that you have of this is going to fail, there is no other way to go about this. You need to really turn loose of this energy. You know, and again, look at the color that you have with this. You move, it's interesting because you have the Aeon at the very top of the card. You have the colors that match the Ten of Swords, the orange and the red. And then as you shift down a little bit further on the Aeon card, here you move into the blue, which resonates with this Seven of Swords card. So really, this is such a profound message. And if you chose this stack, I'm really happy that you did if you are in this situation right now, because I want you to understand that this is showing the gradual progress that you can make moving from this really pessimistic, fatalistic point of view, the ruin point of view, into turning loose of this feudal mindset and embracing something that is not, you know, the glass is half full. You do not need to look at it as half empty, right? And remember, swords are all, it's an air sign, reflects the air sign. It's all about intellectual, mental energy. So these are your thoughts. You can switch your thoughts around like flipping a light switch. And I want you to know that and let that stay with you right now, because that's exactly what you need to do. You will not accomplish anything by holding on to these negative thoughts. They will only perpetuate and grow a deeper mind rut, as I call them, because that's exactly what this will do. And instead, you need to turn this into something that feels, if not completely positive, then at least hopeful, because there is always hope. There is always hope. And beyond even, you know, the complete crumbling of a situation, there is something that comes from that begins new. So I want you to remember that. So we always connect this to what you're probably dreaming. And right now, as I'm looking at these three cards and thinking about the energy that is here, I think you're in a house, and I think you're in a house that's probably having some sort of crumbling issues, collapsing issues. You're trapped in a room perhaps that you're not familiar with, you know, because rooms represent aspects of our mind. And like I said, swords represent that intellectual mind energy. And so you're probably having some difficulty inside of a house, inside of a room. You could be in a basement. And once you deal with this, once you shift that energy from not being so negative, so pessimistic, into something that is at least hopeful or willing to look at another side of this, everything is going to shift for you. And being trapped in that room, being uncomfortable in that room, that dream will go away, because it's directly related to what your subconscious is trying to communicate with you as you sleep. So please pay attention to this message. I know that you're in a place that feels really difficult. You can move through this energy, and you can do it with your mind, with just deciding that you're going to move through this energy and taking that attitude. All right, let's take a look at the second stack of cards. We will scoot the shell over and take a look at the first card, which is your overview card, your energy from a broad standpoint right now. And of course, this could be something big or small in your life, but it's a pervading overall energy for you right now. So let's see what it is. You have the Tower card. This means something or everything in your life is shifting right now in a major way. And here's what you have to always understand about the Tower card. You must embrace this change, whether you want to or not, because when you struggle, it's like quicksand. It only makes it worse. It only consumes you more. So you must absolutely just relinquish yourself to this change that's happening in your life right now. And I hope that you are. But if you're not, then please take my advice. It's going to crumble. Why? Whatever it is, it has to fall down, has to collapse, so that from that rubble, something brand new can be built, and it will be built. I promise you, it will be built. So just recognize that you must just allow this to happen. But we're going to take a look at the second card, your challenge card, to see if this is what you're doing or how you're handling this, because Tower is always bringing you change. Let's see how this is happening. Okay, now we have the Universe card, the highest of the major arcana cards coming up here, which represents growth, moving into the next level, wrapping something up so you can begin something new. And this really amplifies what this Tower card is saying to you here, because clearly, this being your challenge card, the Universe, it's saying that you're having a hard time with this. You're either unwilling to accept it, you're unprepared to accept it, but that this actually is going to benefit you. And that's really what I want you to understand here. When you have the Universe card, this talks about something coming to its natural completion, that you have finished a cycle and that you're ready to move up. You're ready to come back and begin another brand new, fresh cycle that offers you something more. So I really want you to think about this, because this is going to help you move forward. And we're going to look at the third card, which is your course of action called for, to see what needs to happen in order to help you move through this. Okay, so you have the Seven of Wands. It's called Valor here in the Thoth deck. This is dealing with character. This is dealing with your moral place in the world. So courage, right? This is integrity. These are all the things that we're dealing with here energetically. So for this to be your course of action called for, what this is saying is you're probably in a situation that really wasn't that good for you, that is changing. But for whatever reason, you don't want it to change. This actually feels like it could be an unhealthy relationship, or just your fear of the unknown as you move forward into something that is actually going to be better for you. If you're resisting this change, if this Tower energy is saying that you're resisting change, even though it's a relationship or a situation that's not healthy for you, you need to examine why you're holding on to it. Now, that's not criticism. Why I'm saying that is we all tend to hold on to things that are familiar to us because we are comfortable with it. Even if it's painful, even if it's something we know that's not good for us, we are familiar with how it functions. We're familiar with the trajectory of how it is going. And so turning loose of these things sometimes is not our first choice, because it's scary to go into something new. Even though it looks like it's going to serve you much better. And that is what is happening here. That's what the tarot is saying, and what your subconscious is wanting you to know today. And your dreams are obviously reflecting this, because this is huge energy. And so, again, I would feel like in your dreaming life, you're dreaming of not wanting to move forward, even though you know something is ahead of you that looks fantastic. So what that implies in dream symbol language is that you might be trying to run and you can't move, your feet are in cement, or you can only move in slow motion, or you can't really, you're trying to stand up and you can't stand up, and so you might be trying to crawl, or something that is impeding your progress. This is your subconscious mind telling you that what's ahead for you is good, is going to be helpful, is going to benefit you, but that you are holding back from taking that next step. I really hope you listen and pay attention to what I'm saying here, because you can work with this energy to allow yourself to let this crumble. By the way, it is going to crumble anyway, even if you're struggling to hold on to it. And what's on the other side is going to be better for you, I promise. Okay, let's take a look at the third stack of cards. We'll move the obelisk over and take a look at the overview card, which is your energy from a broad standpoint at this very moment. Let's see what's going on. Okay, you have Three of Swords. They call this sorrow in the Thoth deck, and I'm really sorry that you're feeling this energy. Sorrow, sadness. It can relate to betrayal, something that just is really cutting you like a knife, right? Something that is making you feel very unhappy. And when you have the 3 here, this means that it could be another person who is interfering with the relationship you have. And this could be not only a love relationship, like a spouse or partner relationship, but we can be talking about a friendship relationship, even a business relationship. There's some sort of major interference and you feeling betrayal and sorrow, sadness from this. And again, this is a very intellectual, coming from an intellectual thinking viewpoint, because swords represent air and they represent thinking. So this is nevertheless feeling very painful for you right now, and I'm sorry to hear that. But we have your challenge card next, and this is how to deal with that. And let's take a look. All right, so this is some interesting insight. It's the Magician. Magician is energy that could actually represent you. It could represent someone else, or just the pervasive vibration that's coming through right now. Magician, what does that symbolize? It's communication first and foremost. It is charisma. If we're talking about a person, it represents unique abilities and talents. A show-off absolutely is quite possible with this energy. And this can also be, if this is basement rather than balcony energy, that since it's the challenge card, this could work certainly with deception and betrayal. Someone who is using their talents to betray you, to trick you in some fashion. I'm really sorry that this is the case, but I'm really glad that you're here if you chose this stack of cards, because we're going to work with this energy. We're going to work you through this so that you can move to the other side in a constructive way. And we're going to do that by taking a look at the third card, which is your course of action called for. Okay, well, this is making some sense. It's the Four of Cups. It's luxury. They call it luxury because this is referring to allowing yourself to just feel really good in the moment, to look at the rewards that you have, the things that you can be grateful for, the ways that you really are succeeding. Of course, cups is water as the element, and it represents emotion. This is going in direct opposition to swords and air. So this is bringing a different element into it. This is saying, from an emotional standpoint, put yourself in the place of appreciation, of gratitude, even though I know it's difficult. And certainly the Four of Cups reflects that, because if you look at this card, the water is just gushing down into the first cup and into the second set of cups, but it's not really going beyond that. So it does have its limits, and that's what this card is saying. So of course you're going to have your limits as far as how much you can appreciate where you are right now, but there is a degree to which you can be grateful. That is going to put you onto the track where you can move around this Three of Swords, this sorrow energy. That's how you have to deal with this. That is what your subconscious is saying. That's what the tarot is saying. And I want you to really listen to it. And even though that may not sound intuitive to you, even though that doesn't maybe make logical sense to you, once you begin a place of feeling appreciation and gratitude, energy shifts within you. I guarantee it. And from that point, you will be able to look at this swords sorrow situation from a different perspective, even if it's just a little perspective, and understand, oh, yeah, this is how I can handle this. This is how I can work around this. Because if this is a person, if this magician challenge card is a person, then you're going to be able to have a different perspective on how to deal with this person, right? Magician energy, when it is present in a person, they're very clever, they're very charismatic, and when they're in that balcony energy, they're irresistible and fabulous. But when they're in the basement energy, they're tricksters and deceivers. And I am sure with this challenge card that that's what we're dealing with right here. But everything can be dealt with. Everyone can be dealt with. And this is your way to do it, is by just bringing in that heart energy of gratitude, of appreciation. So from a dreaming standpoint, there is clearly something that is, when we have these periods of sorrow and sadness, it very much could be raining in your dreams. Water represents conscious life experience. And so if it's raining in your dreams, then this is representing the sadness that you're feeling right now. You could even be crying in your dreams, and that would certainly resonate with this. Pay attention to what's going on, because you could be underwater and crying. You could be on choppy water, which would represent the situation that you're in right now, and feeling choppy, drowning would also come up. So I'm guessing that you're dealing with some sort of water element. If you are able to move that heart energy in to combat this head energy as far as how to deal with it, you're going to have a lot of success. This is what the tarot is recommending. This is what your subconscious is recommending. That's why you came here today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments for me, because I really enjoy answering your questions and tuning in to the thoughts that you have. I'm always here to serve you. And I want to remind you, you can always subscribe to my online monthly magazine, Astrologic Magazine. It's really fabulous. So many amazing contributors in all sorts of metaphysical sciences. Plus, of course, you can always book a private one-on-one session with me for tarot or dream analysis or numerology. I'm always here to serve you. Thank you for joining me.